Hi church, it's Pastors Jen and Jacob. Happy Friday. Welcome to today's digital devotion. We wanted to kick it off with some really exciting news. And some of you may know that back in the spring, I applied for what's called the Lilly Endowment Clergy Renewal Program. And it's a grant that I applied for, really on behalf of all of you, of all of us. And we have been awarded the grant, which is super exciting. And the award is $50,000 that will go towards the sabbatical that Pastor Jacob and I have delayed for a year due to the birth of our wonderful baby Clementine. So that sabbatical is planned for next summer. And the Lilly grant is going to be paying for that, as well as an awesome renewal program for all of you while we are away being renewed on our sabbatical. So more to come on that, but just know that this is great news for all of us, and it's really exciting because it's super competitive, and I honestly wasn't sure that we were going to get it, but we did, and I'm just really proud and excited for what this means for our congregation.
A few other announcements before we get into the thick of our devotional is we mentioned that we're bringing back Pick Event. And a lot of people don't know what this is, so I just want to give you a brief explanation. But basically, people volunteer to host events next year throughout all of 2023. It can be a dinner at your house, it can be a Mardi Gras party, it can be watercolor classes, it can be a guided hike, it could be a time to sit and sew together. It can be absolutely anything. So we need people to write down events that you can host. That is the really important first part of this. Later in January, people are going to sign up for your events, but right now what we need is for people to offer events that they're going to host. So think of anything, your passion, your gift, your skill, your just what you enjoy doing. Bring other people into it. So let us know.
You could even co-host an event with another church member.
Absolutely. Secondly, we really want everyone to participate in a fellowship group event during the month of September. So all of our different fellowship groups at the church are relaunching for the fall. They're hosting an event this month. And so we have information about it below here in the email. And so find one. Maybe you are between some of the age ranges. Go to one, go to two, but pick something that you can go to in September. We would love to just have the chance for you to connect and meet new people at the church. Mm-hmm. So make that one of your goals for September at church, is to go to one of these fellowship events.
Yeah, get social.
All right, so let's dig in.
Yeah.
The pearl of great price.
Yeah, so we thought today we would talk about a parable that we didn't have time to explore during our sermon series, but one that we talk about a lot and that we really enjoy and we reference pretty frequently, I would say. So do you want to give us a summary?
Yeah, basically, it is this idea of a person has this plot of land where there is a pearl of great treasure. And so the person goes and gives everything he has in order to buy that tract of land to have that pearl. And so we know that the gospel of Jesus is one explanation for what that pearl is. This good news that we are loved unconditionally, without bounds, that God is for us, for all of us. That is news so wonderful and fantastic and life-changing that we would give up everything else just to have that news be true for us, and it is true for us. But I want to invite us to think about what else could be a pearl of great price in our life. What is something so grand, so wonderful that we really need to commit ourselves and everything we have to making that true in our life?
Yeah.
What's some ideas that you think of?
What comes to my mind first is friendships and relationships in my life that are so meaningful and profound to me that I can't imagine living without those people in my life. And my life is really shaped by relationships, and I think that actually ties into Jesus's parable of the pearl of great price, because I think that the gospel is most alive for me in relationships with others. It's not as vivid or tangible when I'm just reading or thinking about it, but when I'm living it out through acts of service or through loving relationships with good friends, and obviously in our marriage, that's when for me this idea of unconditional love and grace and forgiveness, like all of those concepts come to life and are found for me.
Yeah, so cultivating relationships, that's a great pearl of great price. When I think of that, I think of a few different kind of just aphorisms or just ideas that about ourselves that I think are so worth pursuing, like the idea of living a life where we are fulfilled or we accept ourselves, or a life that is lived to the fullest. but
authentically,
but just finding our true selves, finding our authentic self, and living into that, and not being afraid to be who we are. I think that's a pearl of great price.
Oh,
and so,
yeah.
I pray that for all of you, that you're living lives where you just feel it's authentic, you're who you are, and you're pursuing what brings you joy.
Yeah. Yeah, and for me, the parable also talks about, it's a pearl, right? So it's very small, but it's worth buying the entire plot of land just for this one tiny thing. And so for me, it's something that may not seem like the most important thing or the biggest thing, like relationships, or like just simply finding your calling in life or living authentically as yourself. But those little things actually make all the difference and really are the foundation of a life well lived, I think.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So we hope that's something you can be thinking about. What is something, even if it's small, even if it seems inconsequential, you realize that part of your life is so important that it deserves your focus. It deserves putting everything you have into it. Feel free to share in the chat if you think of something that we didn't say. And then we'll see you on Sunday.
We'll see you on Sunday.